to our video meeting about the third grade reading guarantee. We thought that we would try something just a little bit different in working to be respectful of everyone's busy fall schedules. And since we had parents in at the end of August for our grade level meetings, and then parents throughout the month of September coming in for our parent and admin conferences when we had a chance to look at your child's data from the end of last school year, as well as talk through ways that you could support your child at home and what we're going to do here at Prep to support them. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about the third grade reading guarantee and exactly what it means for your child. Obviously at DECA Prep we are a kindergarten through fourth grade school, so the third grade reading guarantee really does hit close to home for us. Our mission here at DECA is not only that our students graduate from high school, but that our students not only go to college, but they graduate from college. And one of the things that research has shown that if a third grade student isn't able to read proficiently by the end of third grade, they face hurdles in higher grades, so in high school and beyond. So we want to make sure that all of our kids here at DECA Prep are getting a very firm foundation in literacy so that they are ready for and prepared for not only that third grade reading guarantee, but that they are prepared for success in higher grades, because we know reading is that foundational skill for all of our students. So today we're going to talk through a little bit different pieces. You're going to see so many different teachers from our third grade team just talking through some of the nuts and bolts with the third grade reading guarantee. What does taking that OST mean for our students here at DECA Prep? The different ways to meet that third grade reading guarantee. So they're going to talk through how you can meet it through the state test as well as through the MAP testing that we do here at DECA Prep. We're going to talk through reading improvement and monitoring plans so that if your child is struggling with reading, what are we going to do here at school and what can you do at home to further support their growth in reading. We're going to talk about what does test day look like. That fall test is coming up for our students in October. And then we're going to also talk through what can you do to help prepare your child for that fall test. So thank you again for taking some time, and definitely if you have any questions after you see the different parts of this video and hear from the teachers, please make sure that you reach out to your child's teacher with any questions.
Okay, so what is the third grade reading guarantee? The third grade reading guarantee is in response to Ohio graduates were graduating and they weren't able to read. So a statistic is that students able to read on grade level by the end of third grade are 4 times more likely to graduate high school than those that can't read proficiently at that time. So Ohio created the third grade reading guarantee. So all Ohio students have to be proficient in reading on grade level by the end of third grade to be able to pass to the fourth grade. So there are varied ways to do that, and we'll go through some of those in the video. But here at DECA, we use your child's fall MAP score to determine if they are on track or not and projected to pass. So if they are considered not on track, they are put on a RIMP, which is a reading improvement and monitoring plan, and it'll be detailed into the video in a little bit. But if your child is put on one of those plans, your teacher will go over that during fall conferences.
So what this means for your child at Prep is they have 2 different opportunities to meet the third grade reading guarantee. The first opportunity is on the state test in the fall and in the spring. Your child has to meet the specific cut score or the overall reading score. If your child does not meet their third grade reading guarantee on the state test, they can also meet it using the winter or the spring MAP test. Once we get the scores of our tests, we take those and we look at what students qualify for focused interventions. These interventions include after-school tutoring or spring break boot camp. So be on the lookout for information coming home about those 2 interventions. Also, keep in mind that we have our January meeting where you find out your child's results on the fall OST. So my advice is to stay involved and be informed.
So why do we do all this testing? Besides being required by the state, this test helps us ensure that our students are leaving third grade with all of the foundational skills that they need in order to be successful in high school and in college. In third grade, this test also gives us a great idea of how much our students grew throughout the year. They take it once in the fall, again in the spring, and we're able to see what they learned from the beginning of the year through the end. Lastly, this test gives us a really good opportunity, and it's a great tool for us to compare our students to other students across the state of Ohio. Are we doing just as well, better? Are there areas we need to continue to push? This test helps us to see those things very clearly. On the third grade OST, there are two different ways that you can meet the third grade reading guarantee. Through the OST, you can meet the third grade reading guarantee with a score of a 683 or a reading subscore of a 45. Those scores coming from the state are the bare minimum scores to pass and to technically qualify for the third grade reading guarantee. Those scores say that you are eligible for promotion to fourth grade. Like I said, those are bare minimum numbers, and those scores do not indicate that you are ready for fourth grade. To be considered ready for fourth grade, you need to score proficient on the OST, which means you have a score of at least a 700. At DECA, we're looking for things even higher than that bare minimum. We want to make sure we're sending students to fourth grade ready to be successful. So we want to see as many students as possible passing the third grade reading guarantee and getting that 700 score on the OST before we're considering promotion to fourth grade. You can also meet the third grade reading guarantee through the MAP test. On the MAP test, which is a test your student will take 2 more times this year, in the winter and in the fall, they need a score of a 194. Again, that is a bare minimum score from the state. A 194 on MAP is not a typical score of someone who is ready for fourth grade, but it is a score where the state is saying now they are eligible for fourth grade. It's a school decision about whether or not they'll be promoted. Like I said, at DECA, what we're really looking for are students going above and beyond and really showing that they're ready for that next grade level before we make those promotion decisions. Third graders who are reading below a basic level are 6 times more likely to drop out of high school and not make it to college. Because our mission here is to get kids to and through college, it's super important that we're transparent with students and transparent with families, and we're also working ourselves super hard to make sure that we're setting students up to be successful and to pass the minimum score and to reach that 700 ready for the next grade level. When you get your students' test scores back in the winter, whether they passed or didn't, it's really important to keep your foot on the gas. Even if they were scoring proficient, we want to see them score accelerated or advanced when they take it in the spring. Remember why you sent your students to DECA, and please continue to help us hold them to high expectations.
Reading improvement and monitoring plans, or RIMPs, will be discussed with you at fall conferences if your child qualifies for one. In order to qualify, a student must have scored in the lower 75th percentile of their MAP reading test this fall. RIMPs help to ensure that students are making significant progress by tracking their progress over the course of the year. Some interventions that take place are working on phonological awareness, building phonics skills, working on vocabulary skills, building fluency, and working on comprehension. These interventions will take place during our intervention blocks, in class small groups, and also during after-school tutoring. More information will be coming home regarding after-school tutoring soon.
All right, so now we're going to be looking at what does your test day look like for your child. Every morning on Tuesdays and Wednesday, we will be starting the test starting at 8:30 sharp. So you need to make sure that your students are inside their classroom and ready to go at 8 o'clock. Students will be staying inside their classrooms for the entire test. For the OST, that is not time, or it is time, so it is 90 minutes. Unlike the MAP test, which is not timed. So
During the OST, students will not be allowed to exit their classrooms unless it is for a bathroom break or a classroom break. Students also need to be able to have a number 2 pencils. Those will be provided. No mechanical pencils will be able to be used. And since this is a high stakes test, we're going to be doing paper pencil for the reading portion of this. So students can not be worried about typing and putting in their answers with stuff like that. Instead of that, they will just be writing their answers with paper and pencil. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or any of your classroom teachers.
So if you're wondering how you can help at home as a parent, here are a few tips. First off, make sure that your child is physically and mentally prepared to take the test on test day. So that just means getting a good night's rest, eating breakfast in the morning, making sure you get here on time and not rushing in the building right at the last minute, causing a lot of extra stress that's not really necessary before a big test. And also wishing them well and wishing them encouragement. Just making sure that they know that you believe in them, you see that they can do it, and that you're going to be here for them. Another thing is stressing importance of doing your best on every test, doing your best all the time. So that goes for if you are taking a big OST test or if you're taking a spelling test in class, making sure that doing your best becomes the norm and not just a one-time thing. Another way to help out is to help your child with their homework. So go through it with them, make sure they're not rushing through, make sure they are getting all the questions correct, and if they have any questions, that you're there to help them. On top of all that, just read with them. Them hearing you read and you hearing them read, going back and forth, will help increase their reading fluency, which is really important for these tests. Another thing, if you want even more support, just reach out to your child's teacher, see what areas they're struggling with most and how you can get involved to help them. There is Pathblazers that we use here, and that you can access it at home, and that is leveled right at their level, and they can get on it for a few times a week, a few times a night, whatever the case is, and that'll target where their skills that are the lowest and really help them improve where they need the improvement. We're also looking for donations of mints and minty gum on test day, just because it's an encouragement, and we're able to tell the kids that they have this something that can lower the stress and kind of get their mind off the test to get them ready for test day.